मुट्ठी में कुछ सपने लेकर भर कर जेबों में आशाएं, दिल में है अरमान यही कुछ कर जाएं, कुछ कर जाएं। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। अपनी हद रोशन करने से तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? झुक झुक कर सीधा खड़ा हुआ, अब फिर झुकने का शौक नहीं। झुक झुक कर सीधा खड़ा हुआ, अब फिर झुकने का शौक नहीं। अपने ही हाथों रचा स्वयं, तुमसे मिटने का खौफ नहीं। तुम हालातों की भट्टी में जब जब भी मुझको झोंकोगे, तब तब कर सोना बनूंगा मैं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे?
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Mrs. Anita Wadehra marked the humble beginning of a gratifying odyssey almost 4 decades back, bearing a vision of sculpting the world of education with undying verve. As time flipped its pages, she filled the canvas of her life with each stroke of brush, and it grew close to making its own masterpiece. The journey began in 1983. Merely 2 years after the opening of the school, a young, enthusiastic, committed teacher walked across the portals of DAV Model School, Pitampura. Thus began a saga, a story of trials and tribulations, of strife and victories, of successes, of triumphs, a remarkable story of a minuscule figure rising to mammoth heights. The reason firm, the temperate will, endurance, foresight, strength and skill, a perfect woman, nobly planned, to warn, to comfort and command, and yet a spirit still and bright, with something of an angelic light. From a teacher to a supervisor in charge, finally Mrs. Anita Wadehra was handed the reins of the school, and a principal was born, a leader who was ordained to influence many a life. The task was not ordinary. She was to build characters and shape young minds.
With her palpable energy, vigor, vitality, youthful effervescence and her experience, Mrs. Wadehra turned challenges into opportunities and deterrents into advantages. Her leadership propelled the school to achieve unprecedented levels of success. Her warm, empathetic persona left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of people whose lives she touched. Her career, her life as an educational leader was intertwined with who she was as a person. Her journey charted a path that helped young people to believe that they could have their own dreams and realize them through grit, fortitude and dedication. The hallmark of leadership is its response to challenge. Long hours of toil were not immediately rewarding, and yet the driving impetus and the unnerving muscle converged with passion, sustained and inspired Mrs. Wadehra to conquer the invincible and venture into new domains. In a short span of time, the school story had woven into a large narrative of growth. The roll call of international and national triumphs is long, and the school is part of them all.
You've come a long way from who you were to who you are now. Some things were chipped away, Some things were polished. All along, at every step and every turn, a new facet of you revealed itself, each as brilliant as the last. The eldest child in a Punjabi family, Mrs. Anita Wadehra, has fondest memories of her school days in Patiala. An all-rounder, she stood first not just in class, but also performed equally well in co-curricular activities. She attributes her strength and determination to the strong moral values that her parents instilled in her. Her growing up experiences were varied and intriguing. The augmented family values, the exposure, the influence of the people who crossed her life enhanced her ability as a leader. The inspiration that prompted Mrs. Wadehra to take up teaching as a profession came from within the family, as both her mother and mother-in-law were lecturers of English. It was also love for children and the respect that the noble profession commands which inspired me to become a teacher. It's a profession that keeps you young forever, she believes. After completing postgraduate studies in English literature, it was in 1983 that she became a primary teacher at the DAV school Pitampura. The stalwarts who were to influence her life were Shri Darbari Lal, the visionary founder-manager of the school, and Mrs. S.L. Makhija, the founder-principal of the school, where she joined as a teacher, and the lessons she learned from them reflected in the leadership she exhibited. Say not they die, those splendid souls who leave us firm and resolute to conquer. The early demise of Mr. Anil Wadehra was devastating, and the responsibility of bringing two sons was intimidating. But Mrs. Wadehra navigated her path through grief and bereavement to focus on the higher purpose of her life. She had the extraordinary ability to balance her roles as a homemaker and a working professional. Mrs. Wadehra is the rock of the entire family and holds it all together. Everyone just loves to be around her. A caring wife, an affectionate daughter and daughter-in-law, an adorable mom and mother-in-law, a loving sister, a doting grandmother, a wonderful friend, Mrs. Wadehra plays all her roles incredibly well. जब इरादा बना लिया ऊंची उड़ान का, फिर देखना फजूल है कद आसमान का. Prim and proper, simple and elegant, poised and dynamic, approachable and likable, unbiased and fair, Mrs. Wadehra was noticed and soon elevated to the position of principal. The rest, of course, is history. A decade completed with pride. A new decade awaits ahead of living a dream and reaching for the stars.
Each day, then onwards, became a day of discovery and rediscovery, of learning and relearning, a day of envisioning new goals and transcending old ones. The superior quality of leadership set Mrs. Wadehra apart from others. Nothing great will be achieved without great men, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. The penchant for planning and execution and the zeal to actualize her vision makes her an iconic figure who is revered as the last work in her domain. Mrs. Wadehra has served in multiple capacities. She was a fundraiser, negotiator, tutor, nurse, counselor, public relations officer, a purchasing officer, educational leader, an architect, business leader, curriculum leader, administrator, accountant, a storyteller. The constant desire, motivation, passion that drove her ahead was that whatever the school evolves to be, it must be the best.
With a dream in her eyes, belief in her heart, and the power to inspire others, brick by brick, she built her dream and gave shape to her convictions. Mrs. Anita Wadehra possesses a charismatic and a transformative impact. Her significant administrative and leadership experience weighs positively besides her benevolent and compassionate heart. As a strategic and visionary thinker, she is dedicated to providing holistic inputs to exponentially enhance the school's identity. Mrs. Anita Wadehra has traversed many paths, made many choices, and achieved various milestones. Her saga is a melodious rendition singing of various hues of dedication, excellence, hard work, and untiring efforts. The entire journey is an insight of the little endeavors and initiatives taken in different arcades of the school that have culminated into great accomplishments.
Mrs. Wadehra, it is difficult to imagine what school would have been or will be without you. You are indeed its jewel in the crown. There are many categories of principals: the good, the superior, and the great. You rank one in the great category. You are a bold and tough person. You have survived a lot of turbulence and turmoil in life with poise and ease. Of course, we know some of your stress busters. We know you need a cup of tea. But for us, you are our cup of tea. The next is work. You can't do without it. It doesn't matter who I am. I will work, and work. All the forces of the universe will also assist me. I will achieve what I dream, even reaching any part of our galaxy. This quote of Dr. Abdul Kalam suits you perfectly. You are a versatile personality. We are all familiar with your appetite for dance and music and your super ability in both these fields. And that infectious smile of yours, which can give even Mona Lisa a complex. A camera's delight, your images can give even Hollywood stars a tough competition. The magic of your personality can wipe out tears, dispel gloom, and brighten up the whole atmosphere. We love everything about you. It is your confidence which makes you unique. No one can ever step into your shoes. Your influence on us is amazing. You mesmerize us, spellbound us, and wield tremendous impact. There is another thing that pulls us to you. It is your magnificent and stupendous zeal, your easy accessibility, your limitless energy, and a never-give-up spirit. We also know that we all are your strength. Your love for us knows no bounds and is often evident in your words and deeds.
You led us, so we may lead. You inspired us, so we may inspire. To experience victory in defeat, to learn, to build, to grow, and to dream. Your presence was the foundation of our success, for you were a guide, a leader, but more importantly, a friend. You gave us hope, passion, and power, and that is the indelible mark you have left upon our character. We can never forget you. We wish we didn't have to let you go, but it is unjust to deprive the world of a force so powerful and a person so great. We will miss you deeply, and your absence will make us feel like we have lost a piece of our own very being. But today, we do not say goodbye. We do not say farewell. We simply wish you success in all your endeavors and say, until we meet again. Farewell to thee, but not farewell to all our fondest thoughts of thee. Within our hearts they still shall dwell, and they shall cheer and comfort us. Adieu, but let us cherish still the hope and the magic of the smiling face that still finds an echo in our hearts.
A very superlative presentation showcases a marvelous and magnificent journey which has left all of us